quite sure if this is working yet. But hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Just figured I'd spend some time honing a little bit of my live streaming stuff. Hey Brett, why are you on Instagram and not on the YouTube where you will get a better view of what's happening? Because that is what's happening. So if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll be able to see me and what we're working on, which is honestly just some hand sanding. That's all we're doing. I hope to be a little bit more set up by now, but things happen. So I've got this chef knife here that I've been working on. Let me turn that off. It's a nice enough evening, we don't need the heater going. I've got this chef knife I've been working on. You'll be able to see on the YouTube stream that there's a nice kind of hamon going. This is the first knife I'm finishing in chef cut, which will be really nice. But honestly, just a hand sanding night. Like I said, you'll be able to see what I'm actually working on if you go to my YouTube channel, made by John, with the underscores and all that fun stuff. But if you got any questions, you want to chat, just say something. Leave a comment. Brett is saying the sound is a lot better on the Instagram. I wonder why that is. It should actually be significantly better here. I think I found the issue. How is it now, Brett? Usually that's not bad. So I've already taken this knife up to 120 using sandpaper and a hardback stick. So now I'm using 220 boride stone, and I don't know, I like the boride stones better for taking it up from the 120. The 120 is nice because it lets me kind of clean up any dips, any of those 2-inch divots with the hardback stick, and then the stones just give a nicer finish. The reason why I make knives is there's kind of a long story to it. And I think I talk about it in our podcast, Makers Anonymous. But essentially, I was going on a multi-day canoe trip with my brother and just needed a better knife than what I had. Doing a little bit of shopping, I was working on a budget, and eventually came across Aaron Goff, who makes knives out in Ontario. I believe that's where he still is, and he had done a bunch of really cool videos on YouTube on how to make a knife with some really basic hand tools, and that led me down a rabbit hole, and I discovered Jeremy from Simple to Life and Walter Sorrells from Walter Sorrell Blade Works. Walter Sorrells has some really great videos as well on making knives with some really basic tools, and I just decided to give it a go, and I kind of got addicted. That was almost 7 years ago, I think. So like I was saying, your video and your audio should be better if you want to hop over to YouTube. I can do a bit more with YouTube. I've actually got a mic set up. I've got a couple of different camera angles so you can actually see what I'm working on here, which is nice. So if you're on Instagram, please feel free to hop over to YouTube. It's not monetized or anything. It's just I can do a better job showing you what I'm working on there. And all I'm working on right now is just taking this chef knife with a nice hamon from 120 up to 220. Working through the grits. Also, hi Ko, if you're still with me. Some of the stuff I got from you a while ago is going on another knife again here soon. So you will see a bit of a shout out when that happens. So thank you for your quality stuff. So because I had this at 120, I had all the lines going kind of longitudinal, all the scratch lines. So now that I'm doing the 220 with the stones, I'm doing about a 30, 45 degree angle off axis, so I can clearly see when I've gotten past those 120 grit scratches and I'm on to a nice clean 220 finish. Slurry quick. You can still see the home line here. If you're on the YouTube, you'll be able to see it quite clearly. Just kind of checking my progress early on. Quick little spritz with some Windex and water. Back at it. So how is everybody's evening today? All one or two of you. I know it's a Saturday evening. Everybody's probably busy. Got plans. These are my plans for tonight. I've got this one to do. And then after this one, I've got a petty in AEBL and a couple more petties that I have yet to do to 120 grit, but we'll get there. It's kind of late on a Saturday, I'll admit. It is Saturday today, right? I'm not going crazy. Yeah. Is that my good friend Tony with me there on the Instagram? If that's you, Tony, do I sound okay there? Like I said, it's late. I don't know about anybody else, but I've always really enjoyed the sound that these stones make. These are those boride mold polishing stones. I swear by them now for the hand sanding. Just such a clean finish. And the sound is, I don't know, I like it much better than just sandpaper. Or anything else really. And I know I'm starting really low on the grits. I like to start a little bit low on, things that have a little bit more of a complex grind. I can control how things develop a bit more that way. And my disc is great. I love having it, but sometimes getting those higher grits without slowing the speed down because it doesn't have a VFD can get really tricky. So I don't mind taking a little extra time. The hand sanding to make sure I don't burn anything and ruin a good knife. So if you didn't know, my friends Brett, Kalen, and I have a bit of a podcast that we started up. We've got 2 episodes posted so far. It's called Makers Anonymous. You can find it on Spotify, Google Podcast, and YouTube, actually. Getting it on Apple Podcasts has not been simple. For some reason, Apple doesn't want to give me an Apple ID, it seems. So I'm still working on that one. But Spotify and Google Podcasts, I think, cover the gambit fairly well. There's always YouTube as well. 3rd episode on shop safety. It'll be coming out later this next week. Actually, Brett was here earlier, and then he hopped over to YouTube. I know, Brett, are you still around? Or are you hiding on me? I mean, it doesn't matter either way. Hello, all. If you're with me right now or watching this later, good evening. And just a reminder, you'll get a much better experience if you join me on YouTube, where I've got a couple different cameras set up so you can see me and what I'm working on. Probably hear me better too, I think. And if anybody's got any questions, drop them in Instagram chat or the YouTube chat, comments, whatever it's called. I'll answer them. I'm bored. That's why I'm doing this. So if you got any questions, now's a good time. Yeah, hello, good evening. Nothing new has changed. Just sanding away on a chef knife here. In a few moments, I'm gonna clean off all the slurry, so I'll be able to show you the jamon, I hope. It'll be visible again. It'll be visible on the other side at worst. Which is kind of cool. This is a new steel to me. This will be the first knife I finish in chef cut. I forget which company actually makes it, but it is a European steel, and they typically tend to be very good steels in my experience. I think ADCR V2, which is one of my favorites, was originally a Swedish steel or like some sort of Scandinavian steel. It's good steel. If I'm wrong about that, please don't at me. This a little wipe down. That is the worst water spray bottle I think I've ever had. Coming along nicely. We still got some scratches to work out. But no, we kind of lost the jamon. So what I'll do is I'll take it off. We didn't lose the jamon's still here. Just kind of lost the visibility of it. So if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to see this quite a bit better here. If I can get it in the light right. So really nice. We got a little bit of action towards the tip, but pretty consistent jamon otherwise. I'll see if I can get it here too. Yeah. So bringing that out and developing that will be a job for later. Oh. There's my brother texting me. You can wait. Has anybody gone to see the new Mario movie yet? Super Mario Bros? We took our kids today with some friends and I was actually pleasantly surprised with it. I thought it was going to be kind of garbage. Yeah, like too many references or kind of forced stuff, but I actually quite enjoyed it. It was funny, it was cute. The kids loved it. And the parents and all the other adults in the theater were laughing almost non-stop, because that's the stuff we grew up with. So yeah, if you've seen it or if you're planning on seeing it, let me know. Let's chat. Or about anything else. Hand sanding is boring. It's important. It's critical. It's boring. See. So something about sanding with the polishing stones is typically when you're doing with sandpaper, you want to make sure that when you go from one grit to the next, you're kind of get a clean finish with that grit, so no J-hooks or that sort of thing. But I found with the sanding stones, it really doesn't matter what the finish is like as long as it's consistent. So J-hooks, whatever, doesn't matter, because when you go to the next grit, you can take care of them anyways. But the overall finish is excellent. So typically what I do is I'll do the stones all the way up to the grit I'm finishing at, and then I'll do kind of the final pulls, the cleanup, with sandpaper on a kind of a hard rubber backed stick. And then that way I get all the benefits of the clean finish from the stones, and then the consistent kind of lines that come from, you know, pulling it with the hard back rubber stick. So I think we're just about done on this side with 220. And if we are, we'll flip the knife over and do the other side. That didn't take long at all. Bring my bucket of water over here. Dropping shit. Oops. We can see the hamon again. So like I've said, if anybody has any questions, let me know. If you got something you want to talk about, let me know. I'm here for you guys today. And hopefully you're here to keep me entertained a bit more. So it's a pretty clean, consistent finish. I'm pretty happy I don't have any 120 lines. Yeah, I think we're good to do the next side. This is going to be tricky because I kind of orientated myself in a specific way so that I could look at the camera. Zuh. This might be all right. So like I said, if you want a better view of what's going on, hop over to my YouTube channel. There's not much there. There's this, and I think one short. But you'll be able to see kind of what I'm actually working on. I got a camera over here, point it down. A little bit of a better view. You can see what's going on over there a bit better. And let's be honest, like the quality out of YouTube is generally a lot better than what you get out of Instagram. I'm just hanging out and sanding away. This will be one of the knives I have with me at the Artistry and Wood show at the end of the month. 22nd, 23rd at the Cali Club in Regina. Me and my good friend Tony will be sharing a table again this year. I say that like we do it every year, but they haven't had the show for a few years, so it's been a while. Looking forward to it. Hope to see some people there. Most of the tables will be wood turners, wood carvers, wood burners, you know, demonstrating and showing and selling off some of their wares. And there are some extremely talented people who come with some really beautiful pieces. You get a bowl, cutting board, what have you. Or better yet, come by and say hi to Tony and I. I'll have a few knives, the chef knife, a few paring knives and petty knives, and hopefully a few more if I can get them done in time. and I will have a sort of try before you buy situation going on. I'll have a cutting board with some fruit and veg. Probably not fruit, just some veg. You can try out a knife before you go home with it. Pretty pleased about what I've got going on to bring to that. My dear wife, my better half, was helping me select the handle materials that will go on the knives. Some kind of half-built handles here with some kind of maple burl, some York gum burl, which will be very cool. And a few others. I got some more down there that I can show later if anybody's interested. Just let me know. Although I'm about 99% certain I'm just talking to myself at this point, and that's A-okay. Talking to myself is still more entertaining than just hand sanding, because, like I said, hand sanding is boring. It's not boring, it's tedious. Tedious. I think we're almost there on this side already. That's actually quite quick. One of the reasons why I really like these stones is they cut quick and they keep cutting. I need to change them out as I lose abrasiveness like they do with sandpaper. And boy, do I go through a lot of sandpaper sometimes. You won't be able to see this on Instagram. But here you can see this is an absolutely minuscule amount of sandpaper used on this knife already. You go through so much of it. But with these stones, it goes a lot faster. Brett, why do you want to join me on Instagram? I'm confused. Oh, right, of course. Okay, give me 1 second here. Oh, thank you, Tiffany. I didn't see you join. I'm afraid I'm now going to subject you to Brett's face for a little bit, I think. Brett's a good friend. He also makes knives. And got a podcast with him and another buddy that we've started up recently.
Hello there.
Hey, Brett.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. I got headphones in, but over my phone speaker.
Yeah, I didn't think I was gonna be doing anything like this. I left my earphones in the house, so I've got you on speakerphone. And I'm kind of hoping my microphone on my camera can also hear you, so that if anybody's watching this on YouTube, it doesn't look ridiculous. Well, it's going to look ridiculous, but maybe it won't sound ridiculous.
Yeah, I was kind of worried about the same thing, but at the same time, I'm like, you know what? John can be able to.
I can't hear you.
Well, great. Hold on.
Oh, jeez.
Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Mildly? Moderately?
Mildly. Now you're coming in over my headphones now.
Oh, there you go. For the people joining us, if you want to see what I'm actually working on, you should go over to my YouTube channel, but listen to the conversation here. Oh, jeez. Just complicating things, Brett. Oh, and there's Kayla.
Yeah, we have fun. We have fun.
But like I was saying before you rudely interrupted me, if you're in the Regina area on the 22nd, 23rd, come down to the Cali Club for the Artistry and Wood show. It's free admission. Lots of cool stuff there, including yours truly.
I won't be there.
That's no great loss. So what are you working on, Brett?
Right now, I'm hand sanding. Oh, this guy here. Nakiri. 8-inch Nakiri. I'm just getting it up to 800 grit on this side. Here. This is 220. So, this side has a ways to go.
Yeah.
This side. I might call it quits at 800 on this side.
Okay. Are you using stones or are you using paper?
I've been switching back and forth.
Yeah, why is that?
Like you said previous, the stones cut great and they keep cutting. I find they cut so great that they leave a lot of J-hooks.
They do.
And I just get a lot more coverage with paper.
They do leave J-hooks, but you really don't need to clean them up until your final grit. But also,
Okay.
I change orientation with every grit. I don't know if you're doing that.
So do I, and that's what I love about the stones is, like, I use when I go along the edge and then on two different angles. So I need to switch to this stupid stick for my angles, otherwise it doesn't work great. And this sucks. So the stones work great for that angled orientation.
Yeah.
We need to get Kaylin in here.
Is it possible to get 3 going?
I don't think so. No three-ways on Instagram. Too many terms and conditions. Did you get into a fight with your dog, or
What do you mean?
what's on your cheek there?
Oh, I think I just got dirt on it.
Oh. You got whacked or something, belt slap.
No, I mean this is hand sanding. It's dirty.
Well, look who decided to sign up.
Come on! The gang's all here!
Yeah, you know it.
So weirdly, this has kind of turned into a anonymous or a Makers Anonymous sort of live stream somehow. You guys hijacked my thing.
We got you way more viewers too. You were at 2 when I signed on. Now you're at 6.
Yeah, Thanks, guys.
Literally just sitting here doing
You,
nothing.
you hate it, but we're boosting your numbers.
For real though, if you're joining us, you should go over to my YouTube channel so you can actually see what I'm working on. But listen to the conversation on Instagram because it's gonna be better there. I got extra camera angle set up here so you can see the knife I'm actually hand sanding.
This is what I'm working on right now.
Oh, is that the new pup?
No, that's my old one. The new one is over here, and he's left at the door now.
And
So,
he's what?
he's deaf, completely 100% deaf.
Oh, really?
Oh my god, he's beautiful.
Yeah, he is.
We've got some friends with a cattle dog who's completely deaf. Absolute sweetheart. Love him.
Yeah, he's a gentle little guy for sure right now, and eventually here we gotta figure out how to train him. But
Hand signals.
Hand signals. You can
and his ass collar.
well you can like stomp on the ground to get his attention.
Bedtime for me, boys. I'm up early tomorrow.
What is it, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon there?
I'm old. I'm old.
No, John's old. You're
Hey now.
chicken.
Hey now.
Funny shit.
Hey, buddy.
Have a
Have a
good
good
night.
night.
Have a good one.
Well, that was short-lived.
Yeah. Even so.
Wow, what's that all?
So Brett, you can see mine's like a kind of a mess of J hooks and everything, right?
Yeah.
But once I'm done, I've still got some 120 scratches in there. But when I'm done, I'm just gonna go straight to the 320, the other direction, and then when I get to my final grit, I'll just do it with the stone, then switch over to paper with my rubber back stick, and it'll
Okay.
be perfect.
I'm on 800 with a leather back stick.
Okay, should get some rubber.
I got rubber's good.
Well,
Rubber?
the leather deforms over time, but the rubber doesn't.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I used
I
to.
was given like literally a bag full of swatches, they call them, the samples from a furniture store.
Yeah.
So I just spray adhesive to the stick.
Well, if they're chrome tan bits of leather, you might have been okay, but like the veg tan leather really does kind of really deform over time and quite quickly. Because
Yeah.
I used to have to replace the leather on my stick, I think every third or fourth knife at best. But the rubber, I maybe switch the rubber out every once a year.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if I have any rubber in here.
I
Might
got,
have something.
still got a sheet.
Who knows?
Well, if you find yourself down here again, I'll send you home with some after whipping it at your face.
Well, I tried to get down there. I was gonna drop something off for you.
Well, you didn't say you were
I
coming.
was just- No, I was gonna show up on your doorstep.
I probably would have been at the movie.
Well, we were heading down there yesterday. Patrick.
Do you want to tell the story or
Patrick is here.
leave that one alone for another time?
Oh yeah, we'll leave that for another time. It's still too fresh.
That's fair.
We'll put it on the podcast so the world can hear it. Instead of the 3 people.
No. After this, everybody's gonna go rewatch this whole thing on YouTube.
I hope so.
I keep looking at the wrong camera.
I hate this.
What's there to hate? This is the best part of making a knife.
I I want to jump off a roof.
I said it before and I'll say it again, and this might be a controversial take. The quality of your hand finish, I believe, as a maker, a knife maker, is what differentiates you from everybody else.
Well, that just means John's good at hand jobs. Sorry.
Right now, I kind of hope that my other microphone isn't picking you up.
Just get demonetized before you get monetized.
I'm not monetized, and I don't really plan on being monetized over there. It's just better quality. Much better quality.
Oh, I understand 100%. I got these really cool scissors in an auction lot, and I'm pretty sure the handles are wrought iron, because I put them in some apple rust, and they developed a pattern.
That's pretty cool shears either way.
Yeah, they're like hand forged. You can actually see the weld marks in them. Pretty cool.
So, how does it feel to be getting some shop time in for once?
I hate it because I'm hand sanding. For those of you that aren't in on the inside joke, I don't get a lot of time in the shop, and I complain about it a lot. In our podcast, if you want to hear about it, check out our podcast, Makers Anonymous.
On Google Podcast, Spotify, and YouTube.
John knows, because John does all the work. We just do.
Yeah.
Yeah, podcast with me, John, and Caleb from Cats and Blades.
Who was here for a few moments a little while ago.
But, yeah, I don't get a lot of time in the shop, and now that I'm actually in the shop for hours at a time, it's just been all hand sanding, and I hate my legs.
Well, if it helps you feel better, Brett,
Yeah.
I've got this knife. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 knives to hand sand yet.
I don't think Tony hand sands very much. He just runs that Tormek all day.
Tony, this is for the show. This is for the show. And if you want to see it while I'm working on it, YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Go to YouTube. You don't have to see my face on YouTube.
But hopefully can hear your voice. I don't know. I haven't checked.
And if you can't and you want to hear it, go to Makers Anonymous on Spotify, Google Podcasts, and I think another one.
YouTube. Spotify.
YouTube.
Google.
My sultry voice.
Might be enough plugs for today now.
Bye, John. Tony. Bye, Tony.
Question for you though, Brett. Was the audio better on YouTube after I fixed it?
Yeah, you know what? It was funny because I turned up my headphones like all the way because I couldn't hear you. And then you fixed your problem, and it was like so loud, and all I could hear was your stone just grinding.
Uh-oh.
Like, oh no.
Well, that might be a problem because I left my headphones in the house, so I can't monitor anything.
Yeah.
Oh well. We'll see how it goes on the playback. The whole YouTube
It
live
should be
streaming
fine.
thing. Yeah?
Like I said, I had mine cranked all the way.
Well, we'll see. The whole thing's new to me.
Question for you. What do you do when your stones get loaded up?
Well, that's why I keep this thing of
Yeah.
water.
Well, like,
Quick dip.
my 320, it's like completely glazed over. I took it to a point, and I finished for the night, rinsed it off in my bucket, but a bunch of like slurry stayed on there.
Interesting.
So
Um,
I flipped it over and it cuts beautifully on the other side, but on the one side it won't cut worth a damn.
I don't know. I've not experienced that, to tell you the truth. But maybe you just got to hit it on your belt grinder for a second to.
I was kind of thinking that, but with my luck, I'd like explode it or something.
Well, just don't let go of it, because that's what happened to me.
Poor bugger. That's some wavy 800 lines here, and I'm not digging it.
Oh, jeez.
Cool.
Here's what I'm going to do. Da-da-da-da.
Once you get that link, Tony, subscribe to him so you can find him again. I had that issue as well.
There is a link in my story.
No.
But
Yeah,
I'll-
but once you're live, I couldn't get to your story.
oh, right. Okay.
Hi, Mrs. Van Cadsand. That's Kaylin's mother,
Oh, hi.
Lynn.
Hi, Lynn. You don't know me. I'm John.
Lynn, you might actually know me. You taught Nancy Green with my mother in Smithers. If you're still here, that is.
I mean, I'll admit it. It happens somewhat frequently where I may accidentally tap on somebody's live stream and then immediately leave. And then it just kind of makes me look like an idiot or, a-hole, but whatever. It happens.
I felt bad when I joined you because I was like trying to support a brother, but all I could hear was hand sounding. So I left.
But the hand sanding, like I was saying, I love that sound. It's awesome.
It's really amplified.
Brett,
It's
Lynn,
like-
Lynn would like to know who your mother is.
Oh, Lynn, my mom was Jackie, or is Jackie Cosman.
And hello, Tony, on the world of YouTube.
Hi, Tony. On YouTube.
How's the sound on the YouTube end? Can you hear Brett on YouTube? That's what I really want to know.
Yeah, I actually asked Jackie about you, Lynn. When I first kind of started talking to Kaylin. She said you're an absolute sweetheart. She's living in Quebec now. Her and JF.
Ooh. Quebec.
Quebec. Her and Jean-Francois.
Hyphenated, right?
Yes, sir. Jean-Francois. they sold the farm and built a new acreage out in, oh, I forget the name of the place. It's by Mansonville somewhere. Quebec. I don't know. I will let them know you say hi, Lynn.
Should tell them I say hi too, Brett.
I will.
I'm just showing it on YouTube quick. Oh, good news, Brett. Tony says that you are clear but tinny, which makes sense because you're coming out of my phone and then being picked up by another microphone.
I also have a very tinny voice.
I mean, I'm not going to argue. Thank you for that feedback, Tony. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tony.
This is...
Oh, I can hear myself now. Small bars here. Dustin.
Hi, Dustin. You don't know me. I've heard of you.
You guys are like so close.
Also, he's not here.
Oh, he left?
Yep. He pulled a John.
He pulled a John.
So, should I continue working on this chef knife and move up to 320, which means I need to clean out my water dish, or should I switch over to another knife and keep doing 220?
Get all the 220s off the table.
That's what I was thinking.
Assembly line style. Just like the Industrial Revolution.
So there's that chef knife. It's kind of dirty now for me holding it and handling it, but that it one aside and pull out the petty.
Well, once I finish this Makiri, I was actually waiting for these stones to start or continue on this knife, but I have a Damascus Veda up next.
Yeah?
Can't really see the pattern, but
Oh yeah.
excuse me.
Nice.
Yeah, so I just love how these stones get right in that plunge line, and you don't have to use like a drill bit.
Yeah. That is definitely one of my favorite things about them.
So now, John, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Should I... Like, I have all my 600 grit lines out, and I'm on 800. It's got a decent satin finish. Should I go 1000 grit or just keep it at 800?
What's the intended finish? Like, are you planning on leaving it as a satin finish, or do you want to take it up to some sort of gloss?
I'm just freestyling at this point.
See, I don't like going any higher than 800 for a satin finish because I feel like past 800 you start kind of getting that extra shine that you would get with a polish. So
Okay.
I would do a good clean 800 with the stones and then take some time with the paper and clean it up. But that would
I'm
be
on
me.
the paper now. Like, all of my, like I said, all my 600 lines are gone. And I'm just trying to get nice, straight 800 lines.
Yeah,
Which you can't really...
it's hard to tell.
Yeah, I hate this plunge line. It's hard to tell on here, like... But
Well, like I
it's
said,
actually looking not bad.
I don't like anything past 800 for a satin finish. If I'm taking it any further than 800, it's for a polish.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
I will sometimes go up to 1500 as part of the process of doing like a Gomai or a Sanmai or a Damascus.
Yep.
But
Okay.
I'll typically go to 2000, clean 2000, etch, clean, 2500, polish, final etch.
Okay. So you etch is the last thing you do then, on like a Gomai or.
Yeah, but like not in ferric, but in something else like coffee or orange juice, right?
Okay. Good to know, because I have that beta coming up.
Yeah.
I also have a little Skinner coming up in wrought iron Sanmai from Baker Forge.
From Baker.
Yeah, core is straight.
Are you sure? Because that one I saw today, I don't know.
I know you don't. I gotta throw my jabs in.
Hello there, Colton.
Oh no, I have lines at the tip.
I see people coming and going. I've said it a bunch of times already. If you want to see like what I'm actually working on, you should go over to my YouTube channel, Made by John. I got a camera. You can't see it set up right here, so you can actually see what I'm working on, which is right now a petty knife in AEBL. Just doing the hand sanding on it, much like Brett's working on his Nakiri. That's not the Nakiri I gave you, is it?
It is not. It's actually one that I started before you gave me the Nakiri.
Oh, it's that one. Nice.
Yeah, that full thing.
Brett, Colton would like to know if you're still working as a millwright.
I am a millwright. Yep. No wrong. Millbilly. Millbilly Deluxe. Oh, Colton. You're Colton from the processing plant. I remember you, Colton. Still at the pig plant. I feel for you, buddy.
Would that be the pig plant you were telling us about the other day?
Yes, sir. That's the one.
I can't remember if I left that in the edit or not.
That's the death factory, we called it.
I'm referring to the edit that I did for our podcast, Makers Anonymous, that you should check out.
You said no more plugs, but I'll go with it.
It was a natural segue. What can I say?
Natural. Very natural. Oh, naturally, I'm out of beer. This is good.
This is a kid's channel, Brett.
I'm out of juice. Truck fire and it's leaving. Oh no.
Oh, jeez.
That whole place is a bit of a truck fire, I guess we'll call it.
$1 million in damage? Wow. I mean, I guess it's not that hard to get to $1 million in damages with a fire.
I didn't know there was $1 million worth of stuff in receiving. There's like an air compressor and 3 garage doors in there. That must have smelled wonderful. You know, these, like, angled plunge lines, they look really cool, but they suck to hand sand.
They're so much easier with the stones. Like the chef knife, it's got... You might not be able to tell, but it's kind of got a rounded plunge.
Okay.
Might be able to see it better here, but it basically goes like this.
Yeah.
And I do that on my disc, but hand sanding them traditionally is an absolute nightmare. I don't know if you can see.
Well, like, I'm just looking at mine right now, and I can just... I went over it with the stones. Oh, what did I just broke my chair.
Yeah, you can see it on this camera angle better. But sorry, you were saying?
I went over it with the stones, and then finished it off with the paper. Noticed that I had a few untouched spots, so I went back to the stones, and just every time I swoop in with the stones, it leaves pretty heavy marks. Again, this is my first time ever hand sanding with these polishing stones, so there's going to be a learning curve.
Good night, Tony. You're right. It is easier to just win a knife from a giveaway, as you well know.
Yeah, Tony, don't even talk to me.
Good night, Tony. We'll catch up.
Day 3, tomorrow, website, and trailer.
And suit pro. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, I was really into my audiobook tonight, but I felt bad for leaving you hanging, so I came back and joined you.
Well, you could have stuck with your audiobook.
Crashed your live.
Yeah. You brought some people to come check us out. I think I might have even gotten a follower out of the deal, so thanks.
Everyone counts, man.
I don't see any new subscribers on the YouTube, though.
Well, I couldn't join you on YouTube.
There's a way to do it. I just don't know how.
So, like, are you just using an old phone to do the Instagram?
Yeah.
And then what do you do for YouTube? What do you use?
Well, my good camera has a I can use it as a webcam through USB, which is really nice, and I've got a capture card coming, which should give me even better video. So I got that set up with my good mic, and then for my overhead shot, I've got just a standard webcam on kind of an arm. And it's you
Okay,
can see
cool.
it over on the YouTube shot. Just hanging out right here with terrible cable management. But I was kind of rushed. I ran out of time to get set up properly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't know. Nobody wants to look at my ugly mug. So
That's why I came.
oh,
That's why I'm here.
no, it's not. But that's why on YouTube it's got the actual shot of what I'm working on, and then me in the corner, and then I can reverse the positioning too.
Oh. Well, John, I'm gonna frig off on you because my battery's gonna die.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
it was nice joining you.
It was nice having you briefly, I think.
We'll talk to you next time.
We'll see ya. Go get a charger and then come watch me on the YouTube.
Put it on mute.
Was it too loud? I can turn it down.
No, I just. It was like I said. I usually listen to audiobooks, but I was on your YouTube, and then all I could hear was just the scraping in my earphones. So yeah, okay. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
We'll see ya. To answer the question I see on the Instagram, we are making knives. We're both hand sanding. You can actually see it now that Brett's gone. Or you can go to my YouTube and actually see it much more clearly if you like. But up to you. But as most knife makers will tell you, the hand sanding process is somewhat tedious and can be a bit boring. That's why Brett was listening to an audiobook. I usually listen to music or an audiobook or listen to a show. But I figured it's Saturday night. I will share my tediousness with other folks if they're so interested. And though it may be tedious, it is, in my opinion, the most important step in getting a really good quality blade done. So what I'm working on right now is a stainless steel. It's an AEBL petty knife. So it's a similar style to this. It's kind of like a miniature chef knife kind of thing. Kind of fits in that little spot between paring knives and full-fledged chef knives. Earlier I was working on a chef knife with a hamon going on. And the handle for this one is probably going to be I've got this started. It's ancient bog oak with some black phenolic insert and a black G10 liner. I don't know what I'm going to do for pins yet. I might do stainless steel, I might do copper, or I might just do black. Because black on black on black on black. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. But this and all the other knives I'm currently working on, most of the other knives I'm currently working on 2 orders yet that I want to have done quickly. Therefore, the Artistry in Wood show that's held in Regina here. My good friend Tony and I were invited back. We had a table a couple years ago. And a couple years ago I didn't have any knives to sell, so this year I am determined to have some knives to sell. And I figured because it's a wood show, there's going to be a lot of cutting boards, people are going to be thinking, kitchen knives for the most part, so it's a heavy focus on my kitchen knife lines. And I agree. I think bog oak, like the ancient bog oak, is very nice. I'm hoping it's not too much black with all the extra black materials in the handle, but we'll see. I mean, I've yet to clean it up entirely. I need some new discs for my 12-inch disc sander. Those are coming in a couple of days. And then I'll be able to clean up all the handles I've got already assembled for all these knives. And it should look deadly. And this will be, at the moment, it's the only stainless steel one I've got ready. The show kind of came up quickly. We only found out about it with very little time. So I'm a little bit behind on having anything ready, and I just didn't have enough belts to grind out all the knives I had heat treated and ready to go. So this will likely be the only stainless steel one that I'll have for sale at that time. I've got 2 more that are heat treated. If I can get belts in time to get them ground out and finished, then I'll also have those as well. Yeah. Like I've said a couple of times, if you want to see what I'm actually working on a little bit better, I do have a second camera angle available on YouTube. You can see me, my beautiful face, and the knife that I'm working on as well. Audio's a bit better too. It never does end, hey? What are you working on this evening if you're out in the shop? Something more exciting than just hand sanding, I hope. Gotta check periodically to make sure I'm getting all the previous grit scratches out and find the areas I need to focus on. So that's some through here, definitely in there. But this stuff being AEBL, it's a bit tougher to clean up than something like the Chef Cutter, the 52-100 I've got over there. Oh, sweet. What kind of blocks did you get back from K&G? And are you happy with the results you get from them? I've never used them, but I'm in Canada and they're in the States, so it gets tricky sending stuff to them and then getting it back with the way customs and duties and stuff like that works. Unless you're also in Canada and you know how it works and have some tips and tricks, I would love to know. Because I do most of my own stabilizing, but I wouldn't mind sending some of the key critical stuff off to K&G to have done. Oh, Montana. That makes sense then. So what kind of, if I may ask, what kind of stuff did you get back? What can people expect to see from you soon? That's what I've heard about K&G. Like I said, I've not used them myself. I'd like to. Maybe I will, just to see if it's worth it. Yeah, there's when you send something to the States and it comes back to Canada, the way customs works gets really funny. Because it's not a new product, it's not a sale, it's a modification of an existing product. And you can still owe on the modifications, so they need to know what the original value was and what the new value is. And if that's not shown, then they basically just charge you for the whole value. It's kind of silly. Yeah, and that's kind of what I heard. My favorite wood supplier is out of Florida, and they tell me that they typically just send people's orders straight to K&G on their behalf, which is kind of cool. But like I said, I do a lot of it myself. Got a bit of a process that works really well, and I'm very happy with my results. But I would like to see what K&G can do for me at some point. So maybe I'll just have to ship it to a friend, have them send it to K&G, or do something like that. We'll see. We shall see. It's kind of, yeah. Getting stuff out of the States is always a challenge and difficult and a pain in the butt, just because, you know, I think we pay more, considerably more on imports than you guys do. And then two, sometimes I can't get some of the woods I want in Canada, so I have to get them out of the States, and then there's cities listed that's impossible or it's illegal. If they actually will ship it for me, it's a whole thing. Like I had some African blackwood burl sent up one time, and they spray painted it black so that if they opened the package they couldn't use. It was a third party, hey? Like an intermodal kind of company, or just like stamps.com or whatever it is you guys have. Because as far as I know, we don't really have anything great like that. I've had suppliers use like intermodal companies or companies that, you know, have multiple methods and they just use whatever's cheapest at the time, which has resulted in me waiting up to 3 weeks for shipment. And if I'm paying for shipping within Canada on a box, I expect it within a week. Sorry, Maritime. Like flat rate boxes are great. I don't use them because typically the Canada Post flat rate boxes, they don't have insurance coverage past $100, and you can't add to a flat rate box insurance. So if I want to insure, you know, $400 knife going across the country, I have to do it as a standard package, and it's about 50% more that way, unfortunately. But then at least it's insured for the whole value. And our flat rate boxes suck. Like, the boxes themselves are just terrible. Like, flimsy, such a tiny opening. It's so difficult to securely pack a knife. When I've sent other stuff, I've used the flat rate boxes and it's been fine, but I won't use them for a knife. I got a stack of boxes that I'll use and I'll pack them nicely and custom to to the knife. Now, no, that's my wife texting me. So let's see how this one is looking. To the water bucket. Still got some up on the flat and in the plunge to clean up. And a couple there. Oy. But if you don't get them all, they just come back to bite you in the arse later on. So you mentioned that you're sanding up blocks and cutting scales. Do you have like a drum sander or something like that to run them through? Because that is a big item on my wish list, and it's also a very expensive item on my wish list, is a drum sander. So I think that would be fantastic to have, just to make sure my scales and blocks are properly dimensioned before I run them through a bandsaw, or, you know, glue liners on or what have you. Actually, I should also see what my dear wife was saying. I am probably going to shut these two live streams down here shortly, just so I can really zero in and focus on getting this stuff taken care of and sorted out and done. Because like I mentioned before, these knives are for a show. It's only in a week, and I'm only doing the hand sanding now, so a lot of work to do. A lot of work to do. Oh, okay, like a 2x42 and a 10-inch. Have you ever used a 12-inch? Or like, does your 10-inch have like a proper table or anything like that? Just curious. So I've got my 2x72, and it just doesn't give me a nice flat surface, I find. When I'm dealing with wood, it's just not what I like. I gotta spend more time on my surface plate, it seems. I mean, that's really awesome that you can get it good and flat on a 10-inch. I struggle with my 9-inch ones. They're cork backed. If your 10-inch isn't cork backed, maybe I can see. But I'm gonna have to, like, you presumably you sell you sell your scales and your blocks and everything, presumably, right? Okay, gotcha. I mean, that makes sense given the radius of a 10-inch. Anyways, I don't think I got many people who stuck with me here, if anybody really did. But thank you. This whole Instagram, YouTube live stream thing is something I'm trying. Thank you. I'm gonna call it a night on the live stream so I can get back to work and really, drill into what I'm working on. If you are watching on the Instagram or you check me out on Instagram, go check out the YouTube playback, because it will be of better quality and you will be able to see the actual work I was doing. Yeah, have a good one.